Hi guys, and welcome back to Twisted Locker, your definitive horror podcast. Today we're going to be reviewing the brand new First Omen, and we're not reviewing the first movie. The new one is called The First Omen,
Yeah,
obviously.
it's confusing.
2024. You know when someone says to me, "Oh, have you seen The First Omen?" Yeah,
Yeah.
countless of
Yeah,
times. It's
loads
been
of
out since
times.
1976. um, this one was directed by Arkasha Stevenson, starring Nell Tiger from the amazing M. Night produced Servant. We've got Bill Nighy, Ralph Ineson, aka Finchy,
Yep.
which makes up a brilliant cast, and we've got a few creepy nuns. Right, Jenks, if you want to kick this one off, what do you think?
Yeah, I watched the other day. I did like it. It's just I found myself a little bit clock watching. I don't know whether
Okay.
it's because I just seen Immaculate with the Sydney Sweeney one, and I quite enjoyed that a lot. And surprisingly, I thought maybe a film about nuns would be quite boring, but Immaculate was excellent. And I don't know whether I was comparing the two because Immaculate was very well paced. It wasn't particularly long or short, but it just every beat was quite easy to digest.
Wait there now. Are we reviewing The First Omen or
Hang
Immaculate?
on, I get to that. But this one, the problem with this one, it was well made, well acted. Nell Tiger Free, which is a fucking awesome name, was
Yeah, it is great.
excellent. She was really good lead, a very good lead. Everything about the film was good. It was a good setting. Um, but I was just a little bit bored.
Mm.
There was a couple of creepy moments. It was a bit where the nun was against the wall. It looked like her robe was hanging, and there was a scene where she comes out, and it was quite a good jump scare. You kind of knew
Yeah.
it was coming, but it was still enjoyable. But yeah, a lot of it was very much repetitive, getting to the slow to get to the point. I wanted to like it because it was well made, and uh, Akasha Stevenson made it, and
Yeah.
it's her first film, which is a cracking first film. She's done a few, I think she's done a bit of TV maybe,
Yeah.
but it's a really good first film. I just think the pacing was the issue, and I would have enjoyed it more. And I was desperate to like it. Like I said, it's very hard for me to pick faults with it. Just that I was bored, you know. That's all I got to really say. It's not a. I wish I had loads of things to slag it off, but I don't.
Yeah, we've got a result, Jenks. We're going to go against each other here.
Yeah,
Probably, I think, for the first time. I know we had a little bit of difference on
yeah,
Late Night with the Devil, but I went into this film, right, with very low expectations. The subject matter isn't something I'm usually into. I'm not really into religious horror movies with
yeah.
nun convents, and I usually find them quite boring. I'm not that precious about the originals. I've seen it. I love it. I haven't seen any of the sequels or the remake. So I went in with low expectations. At the moment now, because we have a horror podcast, I'm going to go to cinema to see a horror film. So I'm kind of pushed more to go see films.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I didn't really want to go to cinema to see it. I kind of pushed myself to, and I kind of wanted to see Immaculate more, but I kind of missed that one. I didn't have time to go see it. But we got to see the first Omen, and I did. I went in with low expectations, and these are when I find films come out the best. I absolutely loved this film. I thought it was amazing. I'm going to go against what you said here. I thought the pacing was excellent. It's got an amazing opening. It really sets the tone for the whole movie. It's got a really big cinematic opening.
Yeah.
Just like the whole film, it feels huge. Like it feels like they pumped hundreds of millions into this film because it's huge. It's set in Rome in the 70s. The set pieces are amazing. Everything is set up perfectly. And like you said, Nell Tiger is fantastic. Everyone in this film, the acting is absolutely spot on. And she conveys so much emotion in this film from the start to the end, her journey from where she ends up. Obviously, it's a non-spoiler review. I'm not going to go into too much detail. But this film is great. The only negatives about it is that it's not my usual type of film,
Yeah.
and I wasn't bored, but it's not something I'm going to go back to all the time because
Yeah.
it's not something I usually get a lot of enjoyment out of. But I had a great time with this. I had a great time with this one in cinema. Now, similar to some of the greats, right? There is a few jump scares, but this one really, really goes for that underlying terror and dread that builds up. And it does pay off with a few jump scares, but a lot of the scares are really underlining. Like, you've got the darkness and you can hear whispers in the corridors, the foreboding of what's to happen, like what's going on in this convent. Is quite similar to Suspiria in that sense, where
Yeah.
you've got an outside person going into a place that's got this dark secret. Again, not going to go into too much detail about the plot of what happens inside the convent, but I really loved how it all goes together. Like, everything in this movie fits together perfectly.
Yeah.
And like I said, I went into with low expectations and I was massively shocked about how much I enjoyed this one. And we get a lovely little tie-in at the end to the original movie. Overall, I really enjoyed this film. The only setback is that it's not usually my type of film,
Yeah.
but I'm giving this one a big fat 4 stars. I had a great time watching this one in cinema.
I'd give it a fat 3. I've got a lot of respect for the film. I got to say, like, I know I mentioned Immaculate again, but I'm going to join a nunnery. You got Sydney Sweeney, you got Nell Tiger Free, and there's another girl in Immaculate that is an Italian girl that's bonkers fit. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pose as a creepy priest, a dodgy one for the 70s. Yeah, so
I gotta say as well, the British actor Ralph Ineson, if that's how you
yeah,
pronounce his second name, he plays Finchy in The
yeah.
Office.
So
He's found a proper niche in horror films.
oh yeah,
Like, he's got that weird look about him and that voice.
he's got a
He's
great
done a
voice.
few now. That guy is amazing and
Yeah,
he's brilliant in
the
this.
witch he's in, isn't he?
Yes, and he was in another serial killer movie with it came out not that long ago. Never mind, it's fine. But anyway, this guy is great and he's brilliant in this. Even as a priest, he comes across a bit sinister. Like, there's something off about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just to end this one.
Wait,
If
can I
you
say?
haven't
All
seen it
right,
yet,
sorry, carry on.
yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend this one in cinema, specifically if you're a fan of the original. This one really does go side by side with the original. If you watch these two together, it's the perfect companion,
Yeah.
and it's definitely one of the better prequels there is out there, and one of the best prequels I've seen.
I agree with you. But before we go, you look a little bit like Finchy from The Office. You got that tash. So if in the edit of this, stick a picture of Finchy up, right? And I've said.
There we are. All right, guys, catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.